I love water. In fact, all living beings should love water. Who would have known that a combination of hydrogen and oxygen to create H2O could have been so crucial to all life on our planet? But with that being said and done, water can also be an extreme nuisance, such as when I was cycling home from work today and got absolutely soaked through from the rain, as you're about to see. Yes, somehow, despite the fact that rain itself is not wet, I'm incredibly wet from the rain. Because, of course, you know, wet is a verb, a process of becoming dry to then becoming wet afterwards. So water itself, since it's wet to begin with, it isn't actually wet because it never went from that process of being, of going even from dry to wet. But regardless, all water acknowledgements aside, water also creates a really great Skylanders element, and I'm here today with Yourself Productions to count down the top 10 water Skylanders. Without further ado, let's start with Yourself Productions himself.
Hi everybody, I'm Yourself Productions, and today we're doing a top 5 water Skylanders video. Now you're probably wondering, why are you doing a top 5 water Skylanders video? You've already done one on Portal Master 951's channel for the Skylanders Awards, which are apparently never going to be finished, so why are you doing it? Well, that's because my friend Ignite the Fire asked me to do a top 5 water Skylanders video. And instead of using the exact same favorites that I had in Portal Master 951's video, I chose new ones. Now Slam Him, oh come on, look, he's a classic. He makes ice, he surfs, you know, it's pretty cool. What else does he do? Oh, he can make a statue out of himself with the ice. You know, he punches it, and he wears. I think he does. He wear sunglasses at the end. Well, if he does, that's another pointer. I mean, come on. I mean, he could freeze people in the ice. That's awesome. I mean, really, you can't go wrong with Slam.
So as you guys can tell, I've kind of changed up the shot a little bit here from the intro, but that's just because I feel like this here location had more atmosphere and just a better shot to it in general, you could say. But whilst I have moved here temporarily, we will go back to the sink and everything to end off the video with. But for now, we're going to get into my list, starting off at number 5 with, of course, Flipwreck. First of all, a great pun on the behalf of the name of the figurine, because of course, you know, he's got parts of shipwreck as his weaponry, but he's a dolphin, hence he has flippers as such, so there's the name, Flipwreck. But clever names aside, what makes this guy so fun besides the design, because I've already alluded to the fact that his design kind of amalgamates both dolphins and shipwrecks, so that design in and of itself is awesome, with some great detail, particularly in his sword as such, which is all braided like it would be on a shipwreck. But apart from that, the other cool things about Flipwreck include, of course, the gameplay. Now, his movement is very smooth and very fast-paced as well. He's a very fast-paced character with some really fun combos to pull off, leading to some great animations as well. So the animations on top of the design is also really great to look at. And I just have a lot of fun with his gameplay, not only the combos and the movement, but just how the moves just connect. It's so much fun to utilize this character all the same, hence why it's number 5 on the list right here.
Number 4, we got Freeze Blade. I mean, come on, Freeze Blade. Everybody was excited for this guy when he was coming in Swap Force. I mean, he was like, you know, had ice hair. He had like ice on his arms. He skates. That's cool. You know, everybody was hyped for this guy. He was the guy you saw on the poster, you know, at the beginning of the series. I'm like, oh man, when is he gonna come out? And then, you know, he didn't come out until later, until Swap Force was kind of ended. But I mean, come on, he was so cool. He skates. That's his whole thing. He skates. He throws his thing at people. You know, I think he freezes people. He's one of my favorite Skylanders just by design. He's just a great Skylander, and again, like, you can't go wrong with him, really. I mean,
at number 4 on my list, I have Chill. Now, when I first saw her design, I wasn't all that impressed. After all, it was just a human with some sort of armor to it. But after looking back on the design a bit more, I do actually quite like the design. The armor just looks so damn cool and has such awesome detail put into it between its battle scratches and of course the way how it's composed, particularly the helmet area. As you can tell as I zoom in right here, it's a very cool looking armor and it's very well designed all the same. But on top of that, I just really like Chill's gameplay more so than anything else. And that's why she blew my expectations out of the water. See what I did there? But regardless, what makes her gameplay so fun is the fact that she's a projectile user, so you can casually hang back and shoot your javelins at enemies even, and they're very effective as well, so that's very fun in and of itself to just be laid back whilst still having the ability to absolutely annihilate your enemies. But even more fun yet is the combo she can create, because you can combo her ice blocks with just about anything, her javelins, her shield. It's just a very well thought out moveset that's very fun to utilise, hence why I love Chill as a character and why she's got number 4 on the list right here.
Number 3, we got Lobstar. Now this guy, oh, he was another favorite in Trap Team. I mean, from the get-go when you saw him, you're like, whoa, look at this guy. He's so cool. He can throw stars, you know. He's a lobster. Basically, what makes him so cool is him just being able to throw all of his stars extremely fast at people. And one of his best things, I mean, I don't know if it's a path thing, is when he could turn red and, you know, seams himself, you know, and he goes crazy and he shoots. No, he doesn't shoot people. He wrecks them. There's not much else I could say about him. He's number 3. I mean, yeah.
So coming in at number 3 on my personal list right here, I have Punk Shock. Now, first of all, when it comes to her design, I love the colour scheme that they went for. The light and the blues really blend together very well, but they also create a nice contrast at the same time, making the figurine incredibly impressive to look at. But on top of that, I also really love this character's gameplay. Now, it is a bit similar to that of Zap, to where, you know, she can create some sort of water substance upon the ground and then electrify it to cause more or further damage to enemies. But even though it's similar, doesn't mean that there's nothing of credit right there, because once again, it's incredibly fun to shoot up enemies from a good distance and then combine such shooting attacks with other awesome moves up Punk Shock's arsenal. And the fact that they're water balloons is a really cool addition, and it's very well animated again, just like the previous 2 characters I talked about on my list. But what really makes Punk Shock stand out is the fact that she's not only got the projectile attacks, but she's also got a melee based attack where she can shock enemies with her tail once they get up close. So that really just makes her moveset a bit more diverse and makes it very tough for enemies to even defeat her, because the moment they get up close, bam, they're done for with her electric shocking tail. So yes, I really enjoy Punk Shock's diversity, and I just really enjoy her gameplay in general. It's, as they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So translating certain elements of Zap's design, or gameplay I should say, more specifically, into this character really worked out in my personal opinion. Thumbs up, I guess.
Now, number 2, we got Deep Dive Gilgrunt. Now, this guy, I mean, you might be wondering, why didn't you put Gilgrunt? I mean, Gilgrunt is the OG. This guy is like number 5, I think the fifth version of him, but I mean, honestly, come on. This guy is the best version of Gilgrunt. I mean, they took everything that made the original Gilgrunt great, and they upped it. He just feels overpowered, like the best of Gilgrunts. That's how I can put it. He's just really cool. His staff is really cool. They took away the gun, which honestly, I mean, come on. After 4 versions of Gilgrunt, I mean, you gotta get rid of the gun. You gotta make a thing here. What else is there to say about him?
As my number 2, I have Typal. Now, with her being a sensei, she's automatically sensational in combat, or effective, I could say in other terms, because she is not only projectile-based in terms of launching projectiles in front of her, but she's also effective in taking down enemies on all fronts, since she has a spin attack, which allows enemies to be defeated even if they are to the left, right, or behind her, which you might find that lazy, but I just find it incredibly fun. The fact that you can just hang back and watch as your enemies are absolutely annihilated. It's a very fun aspect, having an OP character like this. Not only that, but those melee attacks I was previously alluding to really do string together very well to make some really awesome looking combos in terms of the animations, but just some really fun ones to pull off at the same time. But better yet about Typal is her personality. It's just really fun to watch her one-liners be sprouted as she defeats enemies. And On top of that, to add a cherry on top of the cake, one would even say, she has that epic design which amalgamates all sorts of marine life, just like her gameplay does, which means that her design does indeed translate well into the game. But I just really love the fact that she's got like coral hair, she's got a nice little mussel helmet, she's got squids for blasters. With this figurine, they really thought about everything when it came down to the design, because it looks awesome, and the posing just solidifies that awesomeness because she looks so damn cool, just twisting round to shoot enemies from behind her, despite the fact that she's walking in a completely different direction. It's a very cool looking pose, very well thought out, and just very cool to look at in general. I have very few thoughts for this character, and that is exactly why she's at number 2 on the list, even, or my list, I should say.
I said I was going to change a lot of my list, right? I mean, I said the beginning, right? My friend Ignite the Fire asked me to do a top 5 Water Skylanders video, and instead of using the exact same favorites that I had in Portal Master 951's video, I chose new ones. He's just too good not to be on. Snapshot is number 1. Still, of course, this guy is just, maybe not even just my favorite Water Skylander, but one of my favorite Skylanders in general. He's just such a well-rounded character. All of his moves just feel like they come in with a punch, you know? They really feel like they do so much damage, you know? The way he shoots, the way he slams down on things. He's just so well made. I mean, he's just such a great character. I mean, I don't know what else to say about him. He's awesome. So that was my top 5 Water Skylanders. I didn't mess up this time. Last time I did the list backwards for some reason. I put my number 1 at number 5. So I didn't do that this time. Go subscribe to Ignite the Fire. I don't know if it's going to put something somewhere, if I just look stupid. Yeah, go subscribe to me. I don't really post anything. Not really planning to, but you know, it's always nice to have a subscriber. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope you liked my list. If you agree with me, let me know. If you don't, I don't really care. Either way, I don't care. Yeah.
Just as promised, I've returned to the bathroom for the final shot of the video right here. So without further ado, we're going to look into our 2 lists in combination with one another. And that would involve Slam Bam at number 10, Flip Wreck at number 9, Freeze Blade number 8, Chill number 7, Lobstar number 6, Punk Shock number 5, Deep Dive Goga at number 4, Tidal number 3, Snapshot number 2, and that leaves us to the prestigious position that is number 1. That's going to have a privilege of being hydrated, you could say, and that's Zap, very deserving of a number 1 slot because he is a dragon. You guys know already how much I am a fan of dragons, and Zap's design does not disappoint on that front. Because he's not your traditional dragon, which straight up makes him unique and really makes him stand out in comparison to all the other dragons, in the fact that he's, you know, got a water tank and doesn't have any wings, so that's just a really cool dragon. It implements both elements of dragon and aquatic creature-based designs perfectly. But it's not only the design that Zap has going for him, there's also his gameplay. It's really fun, and combos string together very, very nicely between his water slides and his lightning. It's more effective even than Punk Shocks beforehand, so I do actually prefer this original OG moveset, you could say, in that regard. His posing is also really cool. You want to pick up a Skylander who looks intimidating and looks like they'd be very strong in battle, and Zap definitely has that look to him based on the molding alone. But finally, there's Zap's WoW power, and it's awesome in several different manners. Not only because it moves with it flows together with the rest of his moveset very well, and the fact that it combos with the rest of his moveset very well, but it's also in dedication to a kid named Riley, whose favourite Skylander was Zap. Unfortunately, the kid did pass away during the Giants era, so that was the developer's way of honouring such a child. And the fact that Zap has that kind of sentimental value to the Skylanders community, I should say, it's just what makes him so special, you know, that dedication to him. And I love that dedication personally. I find it really sweet of the developers, and just it really does elevate the personal quality I have with Skylander overall, because I feel for this kid, but I'm also so glad that he had such a great favourite. So Zap has very quickly become a favourite of mine as a result, not only based on his gameplay, but also his design and what he stands for in this community. It stands for a child's life, and that's got to mean something. But anyway, time to get all of this sloppy stuff out of the way. If this does it for this here Elemental Top 10, I want to thank Yourself Productions so much for joining me on this list. I really appreciate, dude. But with that all being said and done, this Elemental Top 10 is indeed coming to an end. So I will see you guys next Thursday for the final Elemental Top 10, which shall be the Top 10 Undead Skylanders. Saved quite an interesting element for last. But regardless, I'll be seeing you at that very moment. But until that moment arises, peace. I better turn those taps off quick before they start increasing my water bill and killing off polar bears. Sorry, polar bears. But hey, tap and zap for 2 words rhyme. That's another reason why zap's awesome, I guess. There you go, that's much better. You're welcome, polar bears.